Jadi tanggal 24 aku sign up, aku isi profilnya, dan keesokan harinya di tanggal 25 aku langsung di approach oleh talent advocate dari Rekrut, dan di tanggal 2 Maret itu aku langsung mendapatkan panggilan interview. Halo, kenalin, aku Fortuna, Product Owner di PT Oktagon, tapi panggil aja Carol. Untuk kesibukan sekarang, aku bekerja di bidang teknologi di sebuah software company. Perjalanan karir dimulai tahun 2020, waktu itu aku bekerja sebagai business development di sebuah e-commerce, tapi at the same time, aku juga freelancing web development. Dari situ aku mulai muncul ketertarikan untuk menekuni bidang digital teknologi. Dari situ aku ikut bootcamp di bidang product management, dan aku memulai karir aku di 2021 awal sampai hari ini. Product owner secara strategik bekerja sebagai connector antara stakeholders dan klien dengan tim developers. Typical duties and responsibility of product owner in our day-to-day activity. We usually start with interviewing or making dialogues with stakeholders and clients to actually find out what they need in their product or the features that they need. And we also need to maintain the development timeline, or what we used to call as sprint. So in this sprint development, product owner usually oversee the design team, UI/UX design team, and we make sure what kind of design that suits the behavior of the user itself. Meanwhile, product owner also connect with a technological lead or team of developers to ask what are the possibilities of the technology or tools that we need to use to make the product possible for the clients. Awal kenal Rekrut actually from LinkedIn. At that time, I was looking for new job opportunities. And then I found out that Rekrut is specializing in tech talent recruitment. So I signed up to Rekrut, I made a profile, and then I fulfill all the questions from educational background, from working experience, from skills, from certifications, everything. So after I signed up with Rekrut and fill out the profile, I got approached by talent advocate from Rekrut itself. It actually only took 1 week, so I remember it started out in 24th of February. Jadi tanggal 24 aku sign up, aku isi profilnya, dan keesokan harinya di tanggal 25 aku langsung di approach oleh talent advocate dari Rekrut. Dan di tanggal 2 Maret itu aku langsung mendapatkan panggilan interview. Benefit paling besar yang aku rasain as a job applicant itu adalah the personal touch that Rekrut gives, karena ada talent advocate. Dan aku merasa terbantu banget pada waktu itu, karena di sela-sela kesibukan aku ada talent advocate yang siap membantu untuk mengisi profil yang belum lengkap. Aku ingat waktu itu profil yang belum aku lengkapi adalah job preferences. Di situ aku ditanya untuk current salary, expectation, and the compensation that I expect for the new company. And at that time, talent advocate-nya membantu untuk mengisi data-data tersebut. So in Indonesia, actually the percentage of women in technology is only 30%. So in every 7 men within a team, there are only maximum of 3 women. which happened to me twice. Even though we know that women in technology need to be exposed to more position that they wish, because the position of women in technology is not only limited to software engineers or software developers, but also to product management or even designer or even digital marketing, which is non-technical. The career in technology actually gives women more freedom to choose what they want to do in their own time, not only focusing on their career at hand, but because the career in technology can be done from home, because there are a lot of options for jobs that can be done remotely or can be done by working from home, and women can give more time if they want to focus on their family also. This is the importance of being inclusive towards women in technology. I think the main challenge comes from the very minimum amount of women in strategic and leading positions. Because in my experience, I've been working with a head of technology, I've been working with a CTO, with a C-level directly. So they are my direct supervisor, and all of them are men. So as a woman, especially as a young woman who started out her journey in the career of technology, I believe that one of the main challenges is actually seek mentorship from other women in the leadership position as well. Because even though mentorship can be taken from anyone, can be sought by anyone really, no matter the gender. But I believe as a woman, we know what kind of struggles that we face every day as a woman ourselves. So it's very important to have a mentor or a senior or even a leader that is a woman as well, and that's the main challenge. Other than that, we are also being faced with challenge that sometimes we feel that we are incapable of doing something, even though we know that we have the skill, we have the educational background, we have all the knowledge out there as a woman in technology. But because we think that we are not as capable as our male counterpart, that's why it's very hard for us to start out, especially when you switch careers, because that's what I felt when I tried to switch careers in technology. Because technology is an industry that is mostly dominated by male. So it's hard to seek a mentorship, and it takes a great courage to start out in the field. I think when we are talking about gender gap, we are not merely talking about the treatment that we got in the workplace, because gender gap can come from the feeling of not being empowered by our colleagues in our team, especially when you are in a team that is being dominated by male. That's why the gender gap can feel very threatening, very challenging, because when you work in a workplace that have less women, especially when it comes to technology, you don't have anyone to share with, especially with the other female colleague. And gender gap is also about the demand that women have, especially women who are married, women who have children, because they have the demand of being a working mom, a full-time working mom. They need to focus on their career, they need to focus on their work hours in their job, but at the same time they need to give more time for their children, for their family. So that's the kind of gender gap that women face every day, especially when it comes to the career of technology. I think the pros and cons as a woman working in the field of technology would be, Firstly, how they would manage their time with work, and especially for working moms, how they would manage their time with their children and with their family, because the field of technology is very time demanding. We work with strict timelines and then tight deadlines that sometimes even we need to put in extra and extra hours to make the product or the features can be done in no time. So that's a first. And second, I think one of the cons would be how the woman would present themselves as a leader, because believe it or not, there are still a lot of stigma of how women can be a leader in their team, and that stigma needs to be broken. But at the same time, it raises a question on how they would do well as a leader in their team. But I believe the pros are, first, women can be seen as a more empathetic leader. So when there's a woman who is interested in taking the leadership position, be it as a senior or a leader in their team, they would be seen as more empathetic towards knowing what the clients or the stakeholders need, but also what the team needs. Because I believe in itself that we need more empathetic leaders in our workplace. So the workplace can be more empowering, can be more inclusive. And talking about inclusivity, I believe one of the pros of having women in the field of technology is about being inclusive towards women as well. Because I believe that there are quite numbers of companies nowadays that gives women maternity leave up to 6 months and a paternity leave up to a month to help their wife at home. So it's very important to know where this inclusivity extends to. I believe when you want to start out in the field of technology, you would ask yourself, am I capable? Do I have the right skill? Do I even have the right knowledge to start out the career in technology? Especially when you switch your careers from a non-technological field. Those are the questions that are being raised most times by women who wants to start out. But believe me, a lot of women have that same thoughts, even to me. So I started on being curious about the digital technology. I started the curiosity in the apps that I use every day. I started to think, wow, this is such a good app, this is such a bad app. Those things that spark your curiosity. And then after that, I asked around. I asked my friend, I asked other people within the community of women in technology, because you can actually find a lot of there in Instagram or other social media for the community of women in technology, so that you can have someone or a group of people who knows what you are struggling with. And also that curiosity can come from watching a lot of free classes on YouTube. The thing is, you don't have to have the background in IT or computer science, because the field of technology has been fastly expanding. Like in product management, you can become a product manager, you can become a product owner, you can become a UX designer if you have a keen eye for design. You even can become a digital marketer and focusing on something that you actually like that is non-technical. So that's a thing about starting on something. And if you think that you need the adequate skill and then the certification for it, you can actually sign up for a bootcamp or classes with certification, because it actually helps a lot. The thing is, it actually helps when you want to start it out your career the first time in technology. because a lot of recruiters out there, they would see from the non-formal education background if you don't have the formal education background for technology. So bootcamp and classes with a certification, they actually help. And lastly, you can actually make a portfolio. You can just start small. Start by maybe designing on designing tools out there, and you can make portfolio in product management. For example, you can make a user flow for a product that you use on daily basis, etc. So there are a lot of ways to actually start small in your career of technology, but the most important thing is to always remember that you are capable and you have the skill and you have the knowledge just as valuable as anyone, if not better than your male counterpart. Jangan lupa subscribe Ekrut TV untuk konten bermanfaat selanjutnya. Jika kamu sedang mencari pekerjaan baru, segera sign up di website Ekrut untuk mendapatkan peluang kerja di ribuan perusahaan.